Earlier this month, a dispute quietly surfaced between DJ Vlad and Boosie. Not exactly a full public fallout, but a real disagreement that eventually made its way into the open. Boosie had been getting paid $25,000 per appearance on VladTV, but he felt that number should be higher. DJ Vlad pushed back, and his reasoning was pretty straightforward. When Boosie comes on, the episode generates around $35,000 in revenue. That leaves roughly $10,000 in profit. But once you factor in flights, hotel, and everything else it takes to bring someone in, that margin disappears fast. Pay Boosie more, and Vlad is actually losing money on the deal. The negotiation broke down. Boosie was the one who took it public. Vlad hadn't planned on saying anything, but once it was out there, Vlad confirmed it. And that confirmation opened up a whole new problem. Now that people knew what Boosie was being paid to sit down with Vlad, other guests started doing the math on their own situations. One of those people was Aries Spears. Once Aries heard the number, he went straight to DJ Vlad and demanded more money for his appearances. Now, instead of me telling you how that conversation went, I'll let Vlad speak for himself.
The $25,000 thing comes out. I'm out with my kids, right? We're doing like an escape room, if you know what that is.
Yeah.
Right? I'm out with my twins. We're doing an escape room, and I'm enjoying my time with my kids. So then I get these text messages from Aries. Yo, Boosie's getting $25,000. We need to renegotiate. And look at these comments. Look at these YouTube comments. I only watch VladTV when Aries on. Yo, Aries needs a raise. Aries is my favorite guest. He's the only one I watched. And I said, well, first of all, you just got raised up. You get nowhere near the views of Boosie. Nowhere near the views. Like, Boosie's just a way bigger figure. Have a conversation based on YouTube comments. He's like, yo, you're not gonna convince me what I'm worth. Look at these people, they say they come only for me, and you need to up my salary.
Oh, it's like a hostile takeover, huh?
And if you don't, then maybe we're done.
Oh, wow. Playing like that.
I said, listen, I'm out with my kids, right? I don't have access to my laptop, to the numbers or whatever else. So I said, all right, I come home. So I get home and I said, yo, now I'm home. Let's have a conversation about the numbers. He said, cool, let's do it. I said, cool, what time works for you? At 5 o'clock, bet. I change around my schedule. I clear my schedule out. And I'm like, okay, me and Aries are gonna have a business conversation at 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock rolls around, he doesn't respond. I said, all right, cool. Next morning, maybe around, 10:30, 11 o'clock, I hit him up again. I said, do you still wanna have this conversation? You know what he said?
What?
Yeah, at some point. I looked at my phone and I said, I am done with this forever. Aries Spears.
This text message, sent on either the 19th or the 20th, shows Aries Spears responding with something along the lines of, yeah, at some point. Pretty casual, pretty non-committal. Now, one thing worth noting here is that Aries Spears never took this to the public himself. That's a key difference from how the Boosie situation played out. Boosie was the one who put his dispute with Vlad on blast. This time, it's the other way around. Vlad is the one bringing the story out into the open, and Aries had nothing to do with it going public. So, how did Aries Spears respond once it did? Well, in exactly the way you'd expect from Aries Spears.
Vlad decided to do an interview where he's taking shots at me and throwing me under the bus. And let me just say for the record, Vlad, you are a coward, a narcissist, and a hypocrite. Because I didn't even really watch the whole video, because what turned me off immediately was he started out by saying, we're not friends. You've said to me in my face on multiple occasions that we are friends. But now all of a sudden, because I asked you for a bump in pay and that off, we're not friends. So which is it? Tell the truth. And let me give you all a little bit of backstory. So basically I called Vlad and said, look, I feel like I want a little bit of bump in pay because I know my value. You once had Lord Jamar, Godfrey, Tony Yayo, Boozy, and me. All of which many times people said were your best guests. Who's the only one left? Me. Godfrey left, Jamar left, Yayo left, and Boozy left. I'm the last one standing. And when people go, yo, I watched the show because of you, yo, I subscribed to his channel, the moment your interview's over, I unsubscribe. There's value in that. So you're mad at me because I'm recognizing my worth? And I told you I wanted to be fair. I wasn't even saying pay me what you pay Boozy, because I get it. From a numbers business standpoint, I get it. I'm just asking you to be a little bit fair. And now here's the thing. Again, you're a liar, you're a coward, and you're a hypocrite. Because what you do is you want to be seen so badly, instead of just doing what you do best, which is stay behind the camera. 2 times you asked to come to my shows. One, I forget where it was in LA. I think it was Oxnard or Brea or whatever. And then the other one at the Nova Theater. Both times I gave you free tickets. And you said to me both times, yo, shout me out, shout me out. Why is that? Because it's so important for you to have the attention on yourself. And I didn't shout you out because I knew that. That was my moment. That was my time. When I'm on your show, it's both our times. So there's that.
Now, there are a few things about Aries Spears' response that are worth breaking down, and honestly, some of it is a little hard to follow. To be clear, I'm not here to take sides. I don't have a particular reason to go to bat for Vlad, but I do think the argument needs to hold up on its own, and right now, parts of it just don't. Aries calls Vlad a liar. Okay, that's a serious accusation, but here's the issue. Where's the proof? DJ Vlad came to the table with evidence. He put out that text message showing Aries responding to the call, essentially confirming the conversation happened. Aries isn't disputing the message itself. So if Vlad is lying, what exactly is he lying about? And more importantly, can you prove it? Because saying someone is a liar without backing it up doesn't really move the argument forward. Then there's the point about deserving a raise based on comment sections and YouTube engagement. Look, people respond positively to plenty of videos online. That doesn't automatically translate to dollar value for the channel. Popularity in the comments and actual revenue aren't the same thing. And then comes the part that really loses me. Aries brings up the fact that he gave Vlad free tickets to a comedy show. Vlad wanted a shout-out and Aries didn't give him one because it was his moment. Okay, but what does that have to do with anything? That's not evidence of dishonesty. That's not proof of any wrongdoing. When you're on VladTV, it's a shared platform. Both people's time matters. Using a missed shout-out at a comedy club to argue against someone's character just doesn't land. At the end of the day, I'm not seeing a coherent case from Aries here, at least not yet. What I'm seeing is a business disagreement between 2 people that got personal. But something tells me this wasn't the end of it.
The other thing, you went and talked about my podcast partner, Andy Steinberg, who you befriended. Both times you came to my show. Now all of a sudden, you talking about him? Make that make sense. And let's get another thing straight. 9 times out of 10, when you want to boost your numbers, who do you always go to? The Black community. So whether you are using us to help your platform, and I'll be real, we help each other. And I've said that. I've never disrespected you. I've never talked crazy about you. I just simply said I want my worth. But you use the Black community when you need us, and you play the Black card when you in some Black dussy. And when I say dussy, I don't mean the word dussy. I mean a word that starts with P that rhymes with dussy. Because that's who you are, gadget. And when I say gadget, I'm not talking about the word gadget. I'm talking about a word that starts with F that rhymes with gadget. You understand what I'm saying? You gadget dussy? And I'll do you one better. I'll come on your show one more time for free. You ain't got to pay me shit. And we could talk about it right then and there so we could get the truth. Because there's 3 sides to the truth. Your story, my story, and the truth. So don't be a coward. Bring me back and let's go through it. And I'll take a page out of Cannabis's book, Second Round Knockout against LL. We could get it live in front of the cameras on your own sitcom. I'll let you kick a verse. I'll let you kick them all. I'll even wait for the studio audience to applaud. Now watch me rip the tap from your arm. Stick it for your Vanguard award in front of your mother first, second, and third born. Have me get on the horn, call Minister Farrakhan, so he could persuade me to squash it. I say now, he started it. He forgot what a hardcore artist is. You want to talk about me, the one of the best in the game? Bring it. Bring it. Have me on. Don't be a coward, Dussy. Don't be a coward, Gadget. Let's get it on. Because you Russian, I'll do like Drago. If he dies, he...
Then Aries makes another point, saying that Vlad only shows up for the black community when he needs something from it. He also takes a shot at his own podcast partner, Steinberg. And just to note, Steinberg is a Jewish name, the same as Vladimir, who is a Russian Jew. So in the middle of this argument, Aries is essentially talking down to someone he works with directly. And again, that's a side point that doesn't strengthen the core accusation at all. Now, the criticism that Vlad is opportunistic with the black community, that's not a new conversation. A lot of people have felt that way for years. But here's where it gets complicated. If you genuinely believe someone is using your community purely for profit and you still walk through that door, accept the check, and do the interview, what does that say? At that point, the arrangement worked for you too. It's only when the money stops being satisfying that the exploitation argument comes out. And that pattern is hard to ignore. The deeper issue here isn't really about Vlad, it's about investment. DJ Vlad built something. He put in the time, the money, and the infrastructure to grow a platform that now pulls millions of views. A lot of people with far more name recognition, far more connections, and far more resources chose not to do that. And so when someone else fills that gap and profits from it, calling them exploitative after the fact, especially while you were willingly participating, doesn't hold a lot of weight. And that's what makes this conversation frustrating. Aries Spears has real credentials, Mad TV, major films, and decades in the entertainment industry. He has the name, the network, and the credibility to build something substantial on his own. Guys like Shannon Sharp and Gil's Arena have shown exactly what's possible when someone with an established offline presence decides to take YouTube seriously. They walked in with built-in audiences and turned that into massive platforms quickly. Aries could do the same thing. Look at someone like Melissa Ford. Her channel may not have the biggest numbers, but because of who she is, she's pulling in guests like Clarissa Shields, Charlemagne the God, Maya, and others that most independent creators could only dream of booking. That's the power of a real reputation. You walk in with leverage that others have to spend years building from scratch. Meanwhile, creators who had no name, no connections, and no platform had to grind their way up from nothing just to get to a position where people would take them seriously. Art of Dialogue, SE, these channels had to earn every subscriber. Aries Spears could skip all of that. But the choice wasn't made. So at the end of the day, the frustration is understandable, but the argument doesn't land when you're still sitting across from the person you're calling exploitative. If the problem is real, the solution is to get in the game and build something. Stop leaving money and opportunity on the table. And if you're going to keep doing business with someone, don't act surprised by who they are.